Yo, what up? Just gonna stream for like an hour. Pretty tired today. Had a pretty like physical day at work. Manually expressing some rheumatoid factor. So pretty tired today. So just gonna try to hop on for an hour or so and just work on some project and yeah. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get started. Without further ado, let's just get into it.
This song's called Dog Out. Full House. This song's called Full House.
All right, let's get into this. Let's vibe. Let's dim the lights, huh? Alright. Alright. We ready. Hey, what's going on, Penrose? Love this song. going on, everybody? This is the real vibe coding over here. Appreciate you coming in. We're just gonna be doing some actual coding here ourselves in React, building up our site, vibing out to some music, and having a good time. Listening to the Backseat Lovers today. This is their let's go to their this album. Can I go to this album? View full catalog. Can I? How do I go to this? I wish I can. You can't sort by album, which is kind of annoying. It's alright. I'll just manually do it. What's going on, Ashish and Buma? How's it going? I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Welcome. What are you guys working on? What are you guys studying? Today we're working on some React. Let's get into this. So we're gonna delete this, and we'll delete. That's fine. You fall into the ground. Okay, let's go to our user dashboard and let's go import profile section from profile section. And let's put our profile section above our crop. Okay, and we'll go over to our profile section. Import crop section. There we go. Okay. Got the heated blanket on. Feeling good. Alright, let's get into this. So, profile section. Let's see what we can build here. I'll read some system design, solve DSA after some time. Nice. Sounds like a good goal. Keep us in the loop. Alright, let's go ahead and keep pushing here. So we have crops just in the center there. Okay, good. Okay, this is what I want to do. Let me delete this. Let's go ahead and build this out just in a simple framework, and then we can style it later. So let's go test. What is this? Where is this at? Right in the middle. Okay, flex column with 4. Yeah, no. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so we'll open up a div here. Yeah. Right. We'll open up a div here. We'll have, so in this section, and then I'm going to do an image tag here. We're going to import just a dummy image for now. So we'll do we'll import, we'll go over to our, do I have an image on this one? Guess I'll have to go over here and steal an image from here. So let me go over here. Okay, so this needs to go profile section out, dot assets. And then I go here and do lettering. So profiles doesn't like this. So profile section 1, out of this one, out of this one, one more, I think. There we go. Why doesn't this work? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is we'll set, let's go class name. Let's do some designing here. Let's set this here, border. We'll have width be, let's do like 2. Let's just make it really small. Okay, let's make it 25. Let's do 50. Maybe a little bit smaller at like 40. That's fine. Okay, what we're going to do is we're also going to put a border on this one so we can see what's going on there. Width is not fit. Width is going to be full. Cool. Let me go over to my... That's fine, whatever. Yo, Mahan, welcome back. Long time you haven't been a chatter in a while. What's going on, dude? Boopachoo. You too. What's going on? A lot of OGs coming in today. What's going on? Ray, welcome back as usual. You're awesome, my boy. Okay, so we have this image here in this div. And then we're going to have in this also, we're going to do, let me take this image and put that there. And then this div, I'm going to do class name width. We'll do width on this one is going to be 80. And we'll do a border. We're perfect. So I'm thinking we do a picture. Whiteboard. I'm thinking we do picture. Right? We do name. We do like some sort of we'll do like in some sort of kind of like status here for what you are, right? What kind of member are you? We'll do what other information are we reporting here for just now? Oh, date joined, right? So we'll do right, date join right below here. Date join. We'll do that's fine, I think. Okay. Let's try this. Ashish says, by the way, which MacBook do you use? I'm planning to buy one. Hopefully we'll start daily coding streams as well. Nice, dude. That's awesome. That's great news. You have to link me your stream when you get a chance. I'll love to check it out and support you because you've been supporting me. I use the honestly the MacBook Pro M series chips have really opened my eyes for Mac. I used to I tried every Mac iteration from like 2017 up till 2019, and every Mac iteration I returned back to Apple because the Intel chip was so bad, and it just made the MacBook basically like unusable and like Um, can you put the device? Oh, I don't have a second. I just have my laptop in this one screen here. I have another screen, but the only thing about MacBook, it is annoying. I guess I could hook up the HDMI and run it, but I don't want to have to unplug the HDMI and whatnot. But MacBook does get annoying with like docking. Like Windows does have a lot more compatibility with docks and with multiple monitors and stuff. Like Mac, you have to find a specific dock, and the one I have doesn't really work for. I wanted one that would be universal for my Mac and PC, so I just have to plug in one single USB-C. But so I can't run 3 monitors with Mac on this one though, unless I get a monitor with USB-C connection. But I don't want to spend the money for that. But I use the M3 Pro MacBook Pro. I have the not the base M3, not the base M3 Pro, but the one above, not the M3 Pro Max, but the M3 Pro, uh, I guess. And then so what the one with a little bit more cores, the best Pro chip you can get. That's not the Max. And then I got 36 gigabytes of RAM. Um, Now that was before RAM. That was when now Apple RAM prices are crazy, but now RAM prices are crazy all over the place. So I bet you it's probably way more for more RAM upgrades now. But it's been great. I mean, I could change one thing, honestly, if I could change one thing, it'd just be a 4K webcam. But honestly, this gets the job done at 1080p. So yeah, but yeah, Apple 4K webcam on the M5, and I'll upgrade. Okay, let's keep pushing here. What else do we want? So we want to style this guy here. So our profile up at the top. If we have an image, let's just get some stuff out on the board here, and we'll kind of align it later. So we have an H1, which will be our name, right? So this is going to be profile data name. Is that how it works? Oh, whoops, I'm not even in the, this guy. Don't like you didn't have a choice. Oh, do I have to quote it? Okay, so then we'll do, this will be flex, row. Sorry. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a this into a div for the, here. There we go. So now we have that. So this is the overarching one. I guess what we'll do is we have our image, which is, now I could wrap this in a div. I might do that, but it's okay for now, I guess. I probably will do that actually, just for consistency. And then I'll put this class name on this div, throw in this guy, and here, there we go. Okay, so now we have divs that are being separated left and right with profile data up here. And then we're gonna do, oops. So this is gonna also have another div. Div on div on div on div. Right, and so this is gonna have a class name of flex row, gap of like 1. We're gonna throw the H1 into here, and then we're gonna also throw into here. Oh, why do I keep doing that? We're gonna throw into here we'll just temporarily throw in an H2, and we'll do the profile data key of account status, like so. And then that'll do that. And then what I'll do is just, I'm gonna go ahead and make this its own custom component for like, it's kind of like a little tag. But for now, I'll just throw a little border around it and then make it rounded, so it's kind of distinguished, right? And then we'll give some pad of like 2. No, sorry, pad X like 2. Cool, so that'll be like that. Obviously, I'll style it later. And then, good, so this is going to be the account name and status, right? That's for this div. On this next div is going to be, right, the date joined, and days as a joined and days as a farmer. So we'll compute the value of how long it's been using some sort of datetime function in JavaScript here. I'll have to look that up for React, what they have, because I don't want to send it via the backend and store it. We can just compute it on the front end here with the date joined. Let's get caught up here on some chats. Final exam, Tim? Nice, dude. Ray's #1 fan? Yeah, Ray's the man. I know, right? It looks pretty good. I've been really working on my designs. Watch this. So this is, if you haven't been here in a while, this is our Pocket Farm app that we've been deving, using pretty much writing entirely ourselves except for the Gemini images that we got here that I'm gonna probably either trace out myself or get an artist to vectorize themselves. But we got a pretty good setup going on here. Let me go to just the slash page here. Right, so this is our hero page. Looks really nice. I'm really excited, happy with it so far. I'll give you a little tour of the page thus far. Oh gosh, I don't know where to put this chat. Well, I guess we'll have to put it here for now. I know you can't really see it, but yeah, so we have, what's Groovy Farmer? Obviously, it's kind of a little pun on his name. He's a farmer with a pot on his head. His name's Pothead. He'll be your friend and your guy. He's kind of your little mascot and our little symbol throughout the site. So the whole goal is that you'll be able to kind of load crops and track them. You'll be able to, potentially share them with your friends on like a crop feed or a bulletin, and create various like logs for your crops and your garden, right? So wherever that might be. So right now we created the sign-in page or sign-up page. Let's get growing. Right, cute little watering guy, kind of nice. Let's get growing with email, password. We got effects. It looks really nice. Everything's all working appropriately. And then we can go back home. We can do returning farmer to welcome back. Your crops missed. I missed you so much. Enter email and password below. Sign into Pocket Farm. You can enter email and password, or you can go to the sign up and route to the sign up directly from here. Right. So pretty cool. Now what I'm working on is the dashboard page where you'll have like this profile section up top here with some basic information about yourself. A list of your crops that you have. You'll be able to click on them and actually go to that crop page. Share your crop with this one here. Share it to your friends or actually delete it here. It'll pop up a delete prompt and you can delete it out if you actually really want to. But yeah, pretty cool so far. I'm happy with what we got. We got a long ways to go, but yeah, not too bad so far. Let's keep it pushing though. Honestly, not really. We've only been working on it for maybe honestly, less than 5 streams. Like we've been doing a lot more on C programming, learning C lately than doing this. We've been doing this kind of on the side. I've been doing this kind of off stream every now and then, but I've only put in probably maybe less than 10 hours so far on this. We're getting faster, I think, which is good. Okay, so here what we're gonna do is do a dip for the portion for the actual date joined and days as a farmer. So we're going to have a h2, this is going to be date joined, right? And then we're going to put in a space like this. And then I guess what we'll do is we need to throw in a literal JavaScript space, right? And then what we'll do is date joined or maybe I don't need to do that. Let's just do date join space and then do into here we'll do the actual profile data key of date joined. What happened here? Okay, cool. So then what we'll do is we will make this width is going to be not 80, but just to be will be full to match this parent. I might not even need this outer div, but we'll see. Okay, so date joined. Should I have? We'll just say joined. We'll say member since. What else do we want to add here? What else should we add to the profile section? He's gassing us always, dude. Hey, DJ Batman. Yo, welcome, DJ. It's been a while since you've been in chat. It's called the div soup. Boomba. I like that div soup. Are you gonna monetize it anyway? Yeah, I would hope to make it so that you could potentially sign up for upgraded account status to add in have like unlimited capacity basically. So you could have like for maybe the free tier you could add up to 3 crops with up to like maybe 25 entries for each crop. Maybe 1 picture per entry, maybe even less than that. It might take up a lot of data. I'm not sure. Depending on scale, I don't even know. But I'm thinking that what we could do is make it so that members, if you have a paid tier, which probably wouldn't be very much, a very cheap option, just to get access to having unlimited crops and having unlimited crops and multiple pictures per entry, more than one, a lot more entries. What's your data again? S3 and CF are cheap. Yeah, I need to, honestly, I have no idea. I need to look into database stuff more to how I'm going to do this. That's honestly my biggest hurdle, I think, is how I'm going to, the server side hosting and, database storage. I've done some SQLite stuff, but so I'm thinking what we do is we do some SQLite prototyping and then we use what I've been researching is we can use SQL Alchemy, which is just basically like a middleman, honestly, like a way to easily transition your environment, your database environment, to be compatible with many different types of like production databases. So, like what I was thinking is like yeah, we could use SQL Alchemy to first link it up to just SQLite and dev, and then potentially just easily transition it into like whatever we want to use. I don't know, dude. It's so honestly, I'm really overwhelmed with the database stuff. If any of you guys, I've been thinking about doing some like peer programming stuff. If any of you guys are more in the professional space and got some experience with databases and actually know what you're talking about and want to maybe set up a time to on stream to talk about it and go over how we would implement it for this, I think would be good, like informational segment on the channel. But yeah, that's anyway. Okay, so this is going to be the main content area. Let's give a gap here of 2. This will space those out. Perfect. Um, so you have your profile picture here, and then you'll have some information about yourself. Now, what other information about the user do we want to like keep track here? Like, oh, you can do that with JavaScript. I was just thinking it's like a dictionary. Ah, wow, okay. So you can access it like an actual object because in JavaScript, I guess this is an object, a dictionary object, but in Python, it's a dictionary. You would have, it's not a class, but it's, okay, interesting. Cool. Okay, then what else should we record? Yeah, that'd be a cool idea. Maybe like you could sell like saplings or seeds or something. Notion can help you map out your database. You overthinking, I can help you walk through it. Yeah, message me on Discord if you have experience with database stuff and maybe you want to set up a time to talk it through. I honestly, I'm pretty overwhelmed with it. I don't really know how to set it up or really outside of like SQLite stuff. And honestly, even using that, like I'm still pretty. I'm not afraid to admit it, honestly. Okay, what other information should we record? Honestly, okay, I'll prompt this. What is some basic profile information that would display on a simple profile card? Nothing too crazy. No code. Just talk. Let's just talk through it. So you have profile photo, the name. Okay, so we can have you can have like a name and then your username, right? Okay. So we'll have I guess we'll say title, right? And then what we'll do is we'll say username. And then we'll just say it's like Michael Devin. Right. That's good to know. So what we'll do is we have man, dude, Backseat Lovers are so good. I gotta see them in concert. I'm going to a festival in not like a super wild festival, just like a chill kind of indie festival um, in springtime, and I was hoping the Backseat Lovers were going to be there, but I don't think they are. Okay, so where is this title, right? Okay, so Farmer Mike free, right? So then what we'll do is we will make the below the title. Below the title, we'll put well, below the title is where. Oh, keep doing that. We'll put the username. Right, so we'll say. We'll do just like an H2, I guess, and say maybe we'll do it like an H3. Make it pretty small here. We'll say profile data dot username. We'll insert that, but we'll also insert an at in front of it. Perfect. And then we'll style these up later. Okay, let's think. short bio, location, role, contact, I remember since, let's go. Online or offline indicator. Okay, so I kind of like the short bio. So let's do bio. We'll just do a, let me say some lorem here. Now, we probably would want to restrict the amount of characters a bio could be, just for styling. We don't want it to have like behavior, right? We're taking user stuff, so we don't want it to be a lot of characters. So we'll just make it a little bit shorter, like it's got to be like one sentence almost. Maybe 2 sentences or something. So we'll probably have to write in some JavaScript to, when in some sort of updating in our settings menu or whatever, or edit, wherever you can edit the profile, you will have a limit on the amount of characters you can update for the bio. Right. Supabase. You'll need an ID field in the database for sure to distinguish a user from a relational database. You should make this a div card component. You could just pass profile data to and it returns the card. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'll do. I'll sub these out for props just when I kind of polish things up for right now. I'm kind of just getting my ideas out onto the screen. But we'll refactor it into a component just like we have for our other sections. And yeah, it'll be really nice. Like we have this crop section component and then a button component and then the table component, all for the crop section itself. And so what we'll have is a component for the data, and then yeah, we'll break it down. I'm gonna have a component for this little like tag for your member status or whatever. So I guess we'll say member since like this. That's fine. And then suppose you day join. So then we'll go div. Oh, why do I keep doing that? And we'll put in a paragraph tag, and we'll do profile data dot bio here, right? So that gives us the bio. Now the thing is we want to go class name. Let's give a border around this. Let's set so interesting, right? We have width applied to our image here, our image div, but it's still being truncated and pushed over by the contents of here. Interesting. So if I set width just like half, let me take this back over to the image itself. No, that doesn't force the image to be, if we say min width, see, that'll force it to be, there we go. Okay, so then let's do, that's fine. So now that expands out, right? Because Now we would want to say this was going to extend out now all the way. Perfect. Now, so I have padding 1 over there. Because if I extend it out, let's do, I guess what we'll do is we'll say margin on the right, 1, 2. There we go. Supabase is Postgres. Postgres. What does Postgres actually mean? Anybody know? Hey, Rowdy, keep going. We're grinding. Supabase has entire local dev stack option with Postgres. I'll need to watch a video. I'll have to look into Supabase. Supabase. All about that base at Supabase. This song's good. This one's really good. I'll turn this one up. This one's really good. Okay. What else should we add here? So we probably should just add a general padding of like 1. Right. And then I'm going to get rid of the border on this guy. Well, actually, I think I'm going to keep the border on the profile picture. Right, I'm going to keep the border on the profile picture, but get rid of the border on this div. And then the border on this div. No, that's the border we want to keep. Sorry. And then this one. And then the border on the overall one. Nice. That's not bad. Okay, so we'll obviously style the different sizing. Let's think here. So this is the overall component. This is... I can probably narrow this down, maybe get rid of 1 div here. Yeah, I could probably get rid of this guy. Let's do flex. Well, I'm doing flex row here. Flex column. That's fine with full. We'll do width full. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Okay, that's fine, perfect. So then what we'll do is we'll do a, if I do gap 4 here, so that's the gap left and right between these guys, which is fine. Then I'll do, this is padding of 1. Bring these in, there we go. All right, cool. So now we have the image here on the left side. So this is going to be the left side, which is going to be the image, right? This song's so good. This is going to be our right side, which is going to be data. Cool. So then we have our overall right side div here. So the right side div, we're probably going to need, if I give a border around this, that goes just around all of that. Okay, that's flex row. So then here we'll go class name flex column. We'll do gap of 2. 1. There we go. I'm going to throw in the... No, I don't think I want an overarching gap of 1 on those. I think I might just maybe make some padding for the individual bottom pads of these components. Yeah, because I don't want to have to like wrap everything in these subdivs and stuff. Okay, so what we'll do is, and where's my biography, right? Here's bio here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to also add in kiss on the porch. Guess who was a good one? Do I want more? Guess I'll tell you in 3 months. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is do a class name here. And then what I'm going to do is say, let's see on the board here. We add in H2. We'll say bio. Say about. And then we'll go decoration. We just say underline? Yeah. Okay. And that'll be that about. Oh, I'll say bio. They spell biography. We'll say farmer bio. We'll say farmer bio. Or should I make that a title up at the top here, like? What do you guys think? Love from India. Hey, thanks so much. Join Discord. Oh, nice. Yeah, Twitch is brutal with the ads, dude. I don't know. They play a lot of ads on my stuff, but I make pennies from Twitch. Honestly, I might just turn it off. Like, it seems pretty pointless. You know, I think I might. Now that you mention it. Next stream, I think I'm just gonna turn off the. I think I don't even think I have it on really. Right, The thing is if we add socials, Mahan, we would have to verify that that person's social is who they say they are, right? People would have to claim that, like, you couldn't just arbitrarily claim like an Instagram, right? You'd have to link it to a verified Instagram. Why are you learning to code as a biochemist? I wanted to just like get better skills, try to intertwine coding into biochemistry. I think that with the way that, like, you know, modern medicine is developing, modeling, AI and stuff, I think that knowing programming intertwined with physical science is going to be a really big asset in the future. So I'm trying to maybe get a jump on that. I have some predictions. Need to look into OAuth soon. Yeah, dude. I got a lot to look into it, dude. It's so annoying. Like, I guess this is why you have teams of stuff, because solo deving is pretty rough, dude. You gotta build the whole front end, do the back end, all authorization. Like, it's it's a big task, man. Especially if you have like not like a multi-feature app or something. It gets. I think what we gotta focus on is MVP, minimum viable product first. Get basic information, and then we can start adding in things like, you know, linking socials and stuff that's not like core to the features of the app. The core features we have of the app is creating an account, signing into an account, adding crops, or creating a crop, going into that crop and adding entries, being able to look through those entries somehow and get some deduction of information. And that's kind of the gist of it for right now. Then we can add in our own social board for like sharing your crops, our own like adding friends, like yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, what else do we want to do here? Okay, we're working on the bio, so let's say we had the about here. Um, so what I'll do is then I'll probably add in at the top here for the right side section. I'll probably add in a like an information. Well, maybe should I say about and then say the name, like about Farmer Mike? Like, should I insert the name there? Whatever. Okay, so this is account name and status here. It's our title. Then we have member since in its own div here. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this one out of here and put it right into here. Oh wait. Yeah. Oh. And I'm gonna take this. There we go. So now we have two distinct sections here within our left side, a top and a bottom, for basically like I could say like info, but the name or whatever is kind of like that will be the title, your name, right? And then you have an about like subtitle. I mean, that looks pretty decent so far. Not bad for like a rough sketch, rough little draft here. About me, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm behind. That's good. Use Copilot, bro. Come on. It's so lame. I hate when people come in here and the first thing they say and with chatting is says, use Copilot. Or have it do it for you. Okay. I don't know, dude. Like there's just something about like personal like gratification. Like I just don't get it from AI. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm an old head. Maybe it's unk status. I'm too old for AI. 26 is too old for AI, bro. You gotta be. The youngins are gonna come up and they're gonna know what to do with it. Okay, so that's not bad. I mean that's definitely not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and let's style this up. So let's go font. What's my font that I've been using? Um, I'm not going to use my my funky one for my kind of logo thing, but my sign up page font and stuff. I also need to refactor. We're using Roboto. I need to refactor all of our colors. Our colors are just spaghetti throughout our. It's so bad. Don't look at it. People, senior devs would look at me and they would be upset. They would not be happy. Okay, we're gonna do Roboto for this entire thing. Nice. Roboto. And then we're going to style up our stuff here. It's just like seeing her. Let me flex row justify or items center. We need to do that. There we go. That'll move our image. No, I don't like that actually. I like our image kind of being top right. I might need to like test it out with some different images to kind of get a feel for how it might lay out. Huh. Profile pic. Right, because, well, the border stays the same, right? So if you just throw in an image, if we just throw in an image, then let's go ahead, rather than wrapping the image in a border, hmm. Oh, because the border's around this image, which is shipping to the image. How do you make it so that this div does not? Height full. Hmm. Um. What resources did you use to learn? Everything I've used to learn is in my Discord for free. Also, you can just reference back to the channel as I stream myself learning and teaching myself coding live here. You had to pick a career. Would you go back to software industry or biochemistry? Oh, software for sure. Yeah, what's your question, Mohan? How can I? What is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to get this image to go to the full size of the. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. I might need a little help with that one. Let me take this and say, I will ask here and say, my image is, my, my div border is fitting to the image inside rather than being its own outside frame. Make the image fill the div, recommended. Okay, the image, okay, so we make the image fill the div. Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll give a class name here to the image. We'll say width full, height full, and then an object cover, or is it contain? Cover. If you say like height 10 here, I'll shrink it way down. So if I say height full, well, if I didn't even have this image in here, how could I get this guy to like... See, that doesn't even do it. Width 40. That brings it way down. Okay. Same. Okay, so minimum height. Full doesn't do anything. Fit doesn't do anything. Max doesn't do anything. You want the border to stay big even if the image is small, give the div a fixed height. So we say height is 40. Okay, then we probably would need to specify a maximum height we want this to be. So the width is going to be full. We probably want the height to be whatever we want the height of this card to be. We say like 50 here. It's too small. Let's say like 100. Probably too big. Let's go 75. 65. It's probably fine there. $60. Okay, we'll do 60. And then we'll do height. If we go 60, that'll fit the full width of that frame. I don't think I want to do that though, because I have a padding of 1 all around. So should I do like 59? No, 58. 7. It's 58. No. Okay, so let me actually then just get rid of the pad here. Wait, I'm trolling. Pad of 1, 2. Where is that moving stuff at? Because I have this item center, that's why it's doing that. Got you. Okay, so if we have just that, get rid of this border. And then we're going to go like this. And then on the right side, we're going to go justify between. Right, and then I guess we'll need to shorten our bio. Well, it's actually, it doesn't matter, no. If we go and do a border around our entire left side, right side, it's being pushed down. So that's all the way around there. Yeah, 60. Well, that's because that's a height of 58, so we'll do 60 there. There we go. Now we can get rid of the border here and here. There we go. Justify between. And then we have H3 native here. That's the bio, order on the bio. Go flex, column, gap 2. Wait, why did that do that? Let's flex. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There we go. Cap of 1. There we go. About me, farmer Mike. Okay, then we have our right side here. This is the border that's around it right now. Yeah, it'll probably have to be it's not a question per se. I just want to know some stuff about your investing, like how much time it takes for you to get a stock you want to invest, or plus, I wanted to get some ideas about your project. Yeah, it'll probably have to be tomorrow. Just message me on Discord and we can just chat on there. I'll message you back. I'm not sure if I can have time for like a call tonight, but I can definitely just. Been working all day, so I don't. I go mute after stream. I literally go mute. I don't talk until work. I get to work the next day. Okay, so then. Okay, so that'll take care of that. That's perfect. I need to skip. The end of this song gets crazy. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, we did take a we did take an L on Oracle earnings. I did play 10 shares of Oracle earnings. They already fell quite heavily since last earnings. So I thought that maybe we could get a little bit of a rebound to kind of get back up into the liquidity of where we were in the last earnings. But it surprisingly, sometimes it doesn't work out how you think. It continued down even after a complete wipeout of its last earnings from a $100 move upwards, wiped out. It still wanted to go down another $20 after hours on after this current earnings. So I honestly it didn't go down too much. Only went down $20. Could have been a lot worse, but I mean the risk to reward I thought was potentially there. Now looking back, now that I see some of their financials, they did have some kind of some signs that maybe it wasn't the best buy compared to some other out there. Like their their price and earnings ratios was a little bit higher compared to some other competitors, and their they're having some slowdown, and a lot of their revenue came from like the sell off of one of their like a subsidiary or something like that, and so if that didn't take place this quarter, they actually would have been heavily under performed in revenue, uh, I believe. So from the stats I was reading, so maybe you could have done a little bit more due diligence into researching that one. So lesson learned. But we only played 10 shares on a $20 move down, so minus 200, not a big deal. We've hit some wins the past couple of months for like plus 1500, plus 850, plus 750. So we take a 200 every now and then. That's fine. I didn't play options on it because I wasn't as confident in it. I didn't really want to mess around with options on something I don't really have a lot of experience in. Um, but that's what. So, but I am starting to play options less and less as my base capital is starting to grow and more because I don't really need to play options anymore because um, I'm kind of getting a lot of the same volatility. I'm finding a lot of the same volatility in the actual stock prices themselves, just over a longer period of time. And if I'm already holding options for, let's say, a month anyways, why not just hold a stock if I'm experiencing the same amount of volatility basically over that same month period, right? If I'm experiencing plus minus 10% swings on a stock, like in a month period, why even really mess around with options and get hit by theta decay for similar movements? Now, yes, you could like get exponential movements and compound quite rapidly with some options, but the risk you have to take for those is quite high compared to the risk of buying just shares, right? You don't have any Greek manipulation against you and your price, so it's just yeah. So I've been playing a lot more shares lately as I've been leveling out of having to play options to get bigger returns because my base has been growing, because we've been winning so much lately. Knock on wood. But we've been sticking to our guns and our strategies. We don't really have like a trading strategy per se, but we just use a couple of indicators that we have written in our Python models that we wrote in our better options repo to kind of give us some better insight on like volume, price, some parameters like some um, Fibonacci levels. And then also I've just been watching some of these tickers that I've been studying for the past like 3 or 4 years now, and I kind of know when it's kind of cheap and when it's not, compared to some previous data, right? And I've been kind of playing some feel by that now, and also understanding, listening to the earnings statements, always listening to earnings reports, reading them, reading the financial statements. Um, but yeah, it's been pretty good year so far. I think we're up year to date 2025. I think we're at like 70%, so we're definitely smacking the spy in the buns. Um, off of, and that's not just off of like one or two trades. That's off of like probably close to like maybe 100 trades with maybe a win rate of like I'd say close to like 75%, which is a pretty good year, like a really good year for us. Really good year actually. Like that's a crazy win rate on that many trades. Um, so it might even be higher than that. My loss rate this year has been pretty crazy low. I'd be really surprised. I'm gonna write a Python script, I think, to go over my financial statement and give me some statistics on our trades. I need to do this more often. Most times I just ask an LM to write the code for me and test everything, and I just review and test it. Yeah, I don't really get a lot of like personal gratification out of that. I don't know. I kind of feel like an attachment to the code I write. I really that kind of sounds a little cringe. I don't know, but I really like have like an attachment and an understanding of what I write, and it kind of feels like tailored to my personality, I guess. And I don't really get that gratification when I feed it through LLMs and do stuff like that. Now, that doesn't say I don't use LLMs like I just did to ask some questions, right? When I get some stuck on some styling stuff, but that's like no different than Googling in my opinion. So just getting a quicker answer on some stuff. Hey, discounts. That's awesome, dude. Finance buddy AI, that's cool. Yeah, you should train it on some like um on some like options data or something, or I don't even know how that would work really. Okay, so that is that. Now, obviously, we need to set up the styling for this as well. But that's not really a big deal. Do we want anything else for this part? Okay, let's style up the stuff here. So our profile pic is there. Let's go ahead and add this back in. There we go. I'm going to take off the border on this guy and on this guy. Oh, not that one. Sorry, I always do that one. There we go. And then let me just put a border around this whole thing so I can see it. There we go. Now, if I drag this out, obviously it's not being applied into our user dashboard page here. We're having justify center, item center. Okay, so it should be centering our profile section, but it's not. Flex column, justify center, item center. I think because we have a width full here. Yeah. Yeah, so it's extending all the way out. So we need to, let's just do width fit here. There we go. I don't mind that. So what's the width of our crop section? We probably would match that, but I'll worry about that later. It's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, nice. So now we have a little profile image, and we have that going on. Let's go ahead and take off some of these borders. I always use these borders to help me kind of navigate my way through the div soup. It's just kind of helpful for seeing like where you're actually working and like what component you're going to be affecting. Now that looks pretty bad, right? Because the we're justifying between here. Let me actually remove that, and then what we'll do is we have the left and right section here with a gap of 2 applied, and so the right section is here with the border around the entire thing. So if I do a gap here, let's say 4, that'll push that down. There we go. So now that looks a little bit better. And then you can allow the user to maybe add in some more stuff about me. And then what we'll do is when we're in a Um, well, it's actually just going as long as the width is. So let me just go quickly here to the crop section. This is with fit. So I don't have a set width on that one. So I do border here. I'll put a border on the crop section. And I guess let's set a width to 500, 200. It's obviously too small. So we'll do width is full and then in medium and above, maybe large and above, we're gonna do width is 1/2. There we go. We have the add crop button. I have the add crop button being affected by that. I might need to worry about this later. It's probably not worth our time right now to mess around with. Start worrying about other components too. Let's just get out of here. I have width. See, that extends out like that. So then what we'll do is we'll just go to the profile section. Width is fit to the contents. We'll do width is full here, and then a large and above width will be 1/2. We say width is 1/4. There we go. Yeah. So this will be a little bit like 1/4. Well, if we just say width's 3/4 here. Let's laser down. Compared to just copy and pasting, you have to have high ownership of your code, and you actually need to understand how it works, or else you'll be in a bad time for when something goes wrong. What's the idea with this project? So you should be able to add your crops, like add in things that you're planting, whether it be in your home garden or wherever. You'll be able to go to them on their individual pages and add entries on there for your various things that you performed on that crop, like watering, feedings, super cropping, trimming, and then within those entries, you'll be able to add in like information to your log, right? Like for the entry you'll be able to select like the type of entry you want to um, record or whatnot. And then I still need to figure out if I want to make like an entry, like have multiple logs within it. And that's what you did for like that one setting. Or like an entry is like, I did a watering, that's an entry. It's like an entry is encapsulated to like a singular action. Or if I want entry to hold many actions that you performed during your overall tenure to the crop? Like, or would you need to make, if you did 10 things during that one session, you would need to make 10 entries. Or just one entry with 10 different subsections saying, okay, I did a watering with this, I did a blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to figure that, I'm trying to decide how I want to do that. But until we get to that portion in the actual front end, I'm not really too worried about it at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out, trying to get there for right now. So obviously we have some, this is width fit. So if I say width full here, that'll push it all the way out, and now it'll push all the way out like that, which is what I don't want. Because the crops button this is in a section, and it's going there. So if I say width full, and then I push another, if I make another div, this is item center justify between the add crop button and the H1. Then if I made another div though, where I had width fit over the top of all this, so we'll do fit, take this. There we go. And then we'll just give a gap, flex, column, gap, 1, 2. There we go. Beautiful. So now that looks like that. And then what I can do is I'll apply a justify center, items center. Maybe not that actually. Oh, wrong place. Oops. But yeah, justify center. Let me go here. Border. Oh yeah. We want to do it on this one. Justify center, items, center. There we go. Sweet. So now we have the crop section right there, which takes up the whole area. And so then what I'm going to do is go to our profile section. What we'll do is we're going to have a div here, which is going to go class name, flex, I don't think I actually need that. Okay, let's just do this. Let's go with full border. I'm gonna take this guy, put him here. With fit. Do the border here. I'll wrap it all. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, now what we'll do is now we'll just do justify center, items center. No. Flex. There we go. Nice. There we go. Perfect. I think that's what we wanted. So now what happens is it's in the middle, right? You have these like kind of sections, these boxes for each of these like page sections. And then in the middle, and then we could add left and right sections here for additional like imagery and fun stuff if you're in widescreen, right? So because we have blank space here, we could throw an additional div, just flex this one row, and then add in, additional like fun pictures or, whatever, comics or cool stuff. So, emojis and stuff, like whatever. So we could do that as well for the crops down here. And we could potentially even add in like a left panel for like your friends list or something. Or yeah, that might be a good one, like your friends list, um, and like maybe like a recent feed or something on your right or whatnot. We just keep adding stuff that we want. Like I think it's good to not get caught up in adding too many features at once though. Like we'll definitely want to add stuff later, but just we need to keep focusing back into um, we just need to focus back in on the core fundamentals of the MVP, the minimum viable product, right? That's what we're trying to focus on is the features that actually, you know, um, that actually, uh, you know, matter. So the thing is that this box really is going to be pushed out to um, as wide as the text is. So what I'm going to do is in my profile section, right, the we're going to give a max width of, let's say, like 500. So if I go and scroll, let's lower it to like 300. Let's make it even less, I guess. Max width 200. There we go. So now that will kind of lower down a little bit more, um, like that. Now I don't really like that because I kind of want it to be even with the crops, right? So I might need to define a max width on the crops section so that it's even with that. But my crop section definitely has some pad. We have pad 4 here on everything. Oh, it's because it's not wide enough, I don't think, right? It's not actual pad, it's crop section. If I go border here, that'll make a border there. If I say width, full here, so that stretches it out, pushes that all the way out too. But you. Have you looked through the MDN docs? Is there any better elements you could use? No, I haven't actually. I just been using divs. Just been using divs. I wish I is there better stuff to use? Maybe like grid or whatever. It's just that my chart right isn't expanding, so it's not. It's nothing to do with the actual. It's just how big the chart is, right? So then if I go to my crops table, what did I do? What is this? It's like crop. Where's my table? I need to explain why. With full table auto. That's that actual table. Auto. It's not what I wanted. How can I get this to extend out? Its max width is 1,000 pixels. And min width is 300. See, that does it, but then when we go in to medium, it doesn't do it. Profile section. Crop section. This is just a table. So if I put a border on this, that's just on the table, right? So there's something going on here. When we get into here, huh? Not really sure what's happening. Why so in my crops table is dropping down really small in this section here. Why? What is causing the crops? Why is there a space here? Why did I have a space there? No idea. Crops. Okay. Cool. There we go. Right, and then crop section. Ah, this is confusing. Ah. Getting ahead of this is annoying. I need to fix one thing at a time here, I think. Okay, so that's moving good now. But the button drags outward. Which is here. So here is where that is, right? So width is going to be full. But if I do that, it's going to still kick out, yeah. So width is going to be fit. No. We need to match the width to whatever the width of the table is. So in crops table, these are our widths here. So a crop section here. There we go. Now that matches with that guy. And then what we'll do is we'll throw crop section goes, should have justify center, item center for the overall border. this is going with full. There we go. Nice. And then if I go here and do a border just around that, not that right there. We're gonna want around the entire crops sections with a border around there. Right here. I'll wrap a border around that guy. Okay. So now that matches in that length. Scroll in. Okay, it jumps here. Wait, what the heck just happened? Just happened? I got rid of that there. What's full? Not there. With fit. Why is it doing that? Because it's fitting to this. Okay, so you have maybe I shouldn't do this within these components. Maybe I should like really make these sections just a part of the dashboard page and then add the components onto the sections. Right, rather than making section components and trying to stick them on the page. That probably will help me. Okay. To continue. So our crop section jumps in width downward for some reason. So right, so we have it's this thing here's happening. So if I get rid of this, it still jumps. Why? Why is it still jumping? Because I have this here. So if I remove that there, now my crop table is just that small. Okay. If I take this and match it to the profile section, Perhaps a border on that whole thing. Why isn't that matching? Why is that not like matching the widths? So this is medium. That's small. Large, medium. I didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. Ah, this sucks. Confused. I don't know why it's doing that. This is the profile section. Crops table. Max width is 1,000 pixels. How is my profile section? If I do 2,000, that'll stretch way out. Okay, that's not that one. So in medium, this jumps min width of 800. If I drop this like 500. Well, what do I have min width? Let's see max. Max. And then it drops down even more in small. Table auto. Maybe it's that. No, I really don't know, dude. Why is... Well, I need to work on this some more, definitely. Probably just need to, like, stop doing these sections within... Right, I'm probably just going to take the entire crop section and throw it on the page of the dashboard rather than having this crop section. Let me go here. See, it does the jump there, but then it won't follow it anymore. Yeah, no clue. All right. I'm going to call it here for tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for being here and joining me. This was a good little session we did on getting a little profile um, kind of set up here. We're going to style it next time and kind of work over these stylings for the overall dashboard page. And we're also going to hop into C programming, back into C, and get some more practice into completing the programming projects at the end of chapter 7. So thanks so much for being here, you guys. I need to figure out the styling of this for sure. Something's going on here. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.